I was just a kid when I walked into the place no one walks out of alive. There's a zone in our world that legends are built around. Some scream that it's the border with hell. Others whisper it's where the earth forgets people. But what's really inside, nobody knows. Not one person ever came back out. And from our village alone, no fewer than 40 went in. There's a reason somebody scratched these words into the fence by the entrance a long time ago. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. But me, I got lucky. I made it in and came back alive, just a little boy. Only nobody met me with cheers. Nobody was waiting at the gates to help. My life was hanging by a thread. And the only thing that saved me was a miracle. The one thing I regret in this life is that I came back out at all, because I wasn't the same anymore, and I saw what no child should ever see. Even from early childhood, I looked at the world differently than the other kids. Toys and cartoons did nothing for me. I'd look at them and not understand the point of any of it, so I never managed to make friends. From the age of 3, someone's stare started following me around. You know that feeling when someone's watching you closely for a long time and you can't tell where it's coming from? I didn't know how to explain it to my parents, but everywhere I turned, nothing there. At 5, I started hearing faint voices, whispering. They didn't speak my language. Actually, they weren't even voices. More like sounds, the kind you never forget afterward. Listen. If you really did just hear them, don't listen closer. Never. I learned that one too late. And whatever you do, don't tell the grown-ups about them. Especially when everyone already thinks you're strange. My parents were no exception, and my grandmother, that old hag, wanted to put me in a psych ward. She almost pulled it off once. But that's a story for another time. At 6, I started to understand those sounds. Like each one had a letter hidden inside it, and if you listened long enough, they came together into words. I started writing them down. Sometimes they were closer and louder, sometimes farther and quieter. There were times they were so hard to make out. But half a year of work, and I finally pieced those sounds into words. There were only 5 of them, and they still ring in my head to this day. I'm waiting for you at the gates. Those exact gates, with that exact inscription. What if the closer I got to the gates, the louder the sounds got? That question lodged itself in my head and wouldn't let go. I didn't wait for morning. I quietly climbed out the window and headed for the gates. Thrill, curiosity, and fear all mixed together inside me, but I was right. The closer I got, the louder those sounds rang, and it was like they shifted with every meter I walked, and finally, when I reached them, I heard it clearly. Enter. Here, you'll remember. I touched the gates, and panic suddenly swallowed me whole. My body froze stiff, and my heart felt like it stopped too. There are no words for how scared I was. I barely remember what happened next, but I'll never forget how someone shouted, "What are you doing here?" And my legs carried me off before I could even think. I just ran, with no idea where, or why, or from who. But one thing was pounding in my head, clear as day. Run. When I reached the field, I stopped, looked around. Nothing. No one behind me. Just a faint, soft growl somewhere far, far off. And me? I was standing in the middle of an empty field. And I had this feeling I'd been here before. Only back then there was a city here, alive, full of lights. And now, just snow. After that, my memory tears apart. Where the dream ended and waking began, I didn't understand it then. Honestly, I still don't. I just shut my eyes for a second, opened them, and I was in my own bed. A dream? But the ache in my legs and a fresh bruise said otherwise.
I went downstairs.
My parents were in the kitchen, like always. And still, something was off. Not with my eyes, but with something under my skin. I could feel it. Inside them, something warm and far away was faintly smoldering, asleep. And when my grandmother came near, cold washed over me. Not a draft, something grave-like, coming straight off of her. I had no words for it back then. I just stood there, scared of my own family, with no idea why. And then everything cut out again, and I was back, standing in that field, a dream inside a dream, waking inside waking. I stopped being able to tell them apart. Somewhere, far off, someone was calling, "Eli! Eli! Eli!" It was my parents. That time, it ended okay. 2 questions wouldn't leave me alone. Why does a cold like that, a cold the living don't have, come off of my own family? And what's behind those gates that keep calling me? I understood very soon. For days after that, they kept calling me, but I was scared to go near. I wish the fear had won back then. I'd never have ended up on the other side of them. But, as you can probably guess, curiosity and the hunger to know took over. I packed everything I needed into a backpack, waited for night, and went to the gates again. No one around. I shoved them open with my back, and I got in, but after what I saw, all I wanted was out. And the door had just vanished. And now I was in the place people never come back from. It looked like a dead city, everything around it in ruins and silence. But the kind you can't hear. It was like sound itself was completely gone there. So, you understand what that's like. You hear that? Yeah, I didn't hear a thing back then either. But I saw buildings collapsing, and the world itself was gray. Everything, absolutely everything around me was gray. The sky, the cars, even my own clothes turned gray. In that world, there are no colors, no sounds, only thoughts and wreckage. One thing was clear. I had to find a way out somehow, and I couldn't see a single one. I wandered through the dead city, no idea for how long. You couldn't tell how much time had passed in there. Other people's things were lying all around. Backpacks, boots, a child's mitten, the belongings of everyone who'd come in before me. They were nowhere to be found. And the moment I sat down to rest, I felt that same stare, heavy. The one I'd felt since I was 3, only this time I understood. If I turned around, I'd see what I wasn't meant to see. I tried to back away from it slowly, but I felt it getting closer, and curiosity won. I turned around, and I saw it. The monster, like it had crawled straight out of hell. The only creature here that had color and sound. Before I could do anything, my body just bolted, and that thing after me. You think you can outrun something like that? Not a chance! Unless you run like a world record holder. You've got worse odds than a fly in a web.
It pounced on me instantly and just stared, like straight into my soul. It stood over me, breathing hard, watching. I'd already braced myself to be eaten. But a couple seconds later, it started licking me. That monster was like a dog that had just found its owner.
Here, boy, a voice called from a distance. Another creature that had sound and color in this world, except he was dressed like he was trying to blend into it. He came up to me, didn't ask me anything, just said, "Follow me." I didn't have a choice. The fear that there were more strange creatures here, and probably not as friendly, wouldn't let go of me. I followed him. We walked a long time, through courtyards and holes broken through walls, and it got clearer and clearer to me. He wasn't leading me out, he was leading me somewhere, like he'd known the way for a long time and knew exactly what I was supposed to see there. When we reached a strange door standing right in the middle of a field, the wanderer turned to me and said, "You have a choice. Either you go through this door and go home, or you stay here, but then you won't survive."
and then he turned and walked off the other way, together with that beast. I tried to shout after him. There's no sound in that world, and all that came out was silence.
To this day, I don't know who he was, but he clearly saved me. I don't remember how long I stood in front of that door, studying it from every side, but I didn't want to die, after all. I opened it, and I saw a staircase leading down, far, far down. When I got to the bottom, I came into a room, empty, but familiar enough to make me shiver. In the middle of it stood a capsule. Sounds were coming off of it. Sounds I felt like I'd heard before, a very long time ago. Not in this life.
And it was only when I lifted it that I heard it open us. That's when it happened. I still don't have the words to describe it. No matter how many times I tried to explain it to people afterward, it never comes out right. But at least try to feel this. Not understand it, feel it. First, there was an explosion. Just not the kind you're picturing right now. An explosion of color. The gray, dead world was flooded with color all at once, so bright it stung my eyes. And in that same second, something poured into me that was never in my memory and never could have been.
I remembered that I'm not 7 years old, that I'm not a child at all, that I've been alive for a very long time, thousands, maybe millions of years. I remembered how I died and what I saw beyond that burning light. If you've ever wondered what's waiting for us after death, listen. Some describe it as a white light at the end of a tunnel. Some feel a hand pulling them out. For some, the fear and the worry just drop away, and it's like the world stops existing. Everyone sees it differently, but the same fate waits for every single one of us. A creature comes and takes you. I call it the fifth, and it just deletes your whole past life and every memory of it, turning you into a gray, empty shell, and sends you off into a new body that remembers nothing.
And you know why? It's as simple as it gets. A creature that doesn't remember what it is. You can make it believe anything. You can control it. You can make it serve. You can rule over it. That's what the whole world rests on. Everything around us. And then, you know what hit me the hardest? Not fear, relief.
Because my whole life I'd been told I was broken, strange, sick. My grandmother pointing her finger at me, the other kids laughing, the grown-ups looking away. And there I am, lying there, remembering my own deaths. And for the first time in 7 years, I understand. There's nothing wrong with me. There never was. I'm not crazy. I'm just the only one who woke up and remembered. And after that, I was back at the gates, hollow, wrung out, like everything had been pulled out of me and stuffed back in any old way. And that's the last thing I remember from that time.
I came to in the local hospital.
My parents were fussing around me, but when I opened my eyes, I couldn't close them again. Not my eyelids, that other sight, the one that had switched on inside me for good. Behind every person in that ward, someone was standing. Behind my parents, a gray, sleeping creature, like back home. It was still there behind them now. And behind my grandmother stood something you could only call a beast out of hell. It was looking right at me and smiling like it was waiting for me to die. And then, gold. In the middle of all those gray sleepers, through the doorway, I saw a golden creature following a little girl. I was sure she knew something. I tried to get up and run after her, but my body was like it had been nailed to the bed. And only then did I notice I was strapped down. No idea why. Maybe I'd thrown a fit while I was out. I lost her, but I can tell you this, that wasn't the last time we'd meet. I knew it. I could feel it.